You start wondering how deeply you're affected by how other people feel about you, even if you don't know about it. And this story is an extreme version of that. My grandmother and mother, who ran the cult that I grew up in, they told me because I had been ritualistically abused by Satan worshippers, and that my dad was the leader of that group of Satan worshippers, that there was a whole bunch of satanic programming in my brain, which means that my personalities could split into 1,000 pieces and I would be totally under the control of Satan at any time that I was triggered. Now, that trigger could be a word, it could be a person, it could be an object. And one object we had to be really careful about was children's toys. Now, the truth was that my father was an extremely loving person. Despite having his kids kidnapped away from him and not being able to find them or be in any contact with them, he never gave up looking for and loving his children. And despite being financially ruined by the cult that I grew up in, he continued to send my brother and I gifts. Every birthday, every Christmas. He was a dad that never forgot about his kids, even though he never heard back, he never heard a thank you. He would send the most popular toys that year, beautiful, handcrafted things, valuable, thoughtful gifts. But the cult that I was in protected me from ever seeing these. However, they would keep the toys. So one day I found this stash of incredible toys in the garage that I'd never seen before, and I was so happy about it. My grandmother and my mother were terrified. They screamed, they grabbed the toys away from me, and they let me know that those toys had been sent by the group of Satan worshippers, and that they were specifically sent to trigger me so that Satan would have control over my brain. So now I'm terrified and I burst into tears anytime that I see the most popular toys of the year at my friend's house or at a store. So after I got back in touch with my dad, and my cult leader grandmother decided to talk to me again. She went from "your dad will unalive you and he's the most evil person in the world" to "I'm so glad that you have a nice relationship with your dad. In fact, he sent some really nice things and I just kept them for myself, and I thought that I would give one of them back to you. I'm going to show this gift to you, but really pay attention to what it is." I cherish this little egg. It is a jade egg that is hand painted. Isn't that so beautiful? With a, remember this, blue bird on it. Given to me by a loving father that I didn't know about. And before I've ever seen this, I create a company that is based off of helping people with the principles that I learned from deprogramming from growing up in a cult. That company goes on to be the top 2% of woman-owned companies in the world. And what is the logo that I created out of my own brain? It's a bird. A blue bird.